indicates that 4 in 10 Americans are experiencing depression and feelings of isolation during the pandemic. In response to this issue, using the MIT App Inventor platform, our company TechBull has created the app Florens. We are seeking to counteract the negative impacts that the unprecedented coronavirus pandemic has had on the overall health of people in our community. Isolation can cause people to experience severe anxiety, irritability, sleep disruption, and thoughts of self-harm, and we therefore want to alleviate these problems before they become more severe. We analyzed the features of apps that our potential competitors have created and made a chart comparing their apps to ours. We concluded that our solution will be effective because everyone is interested in different things, and by offering multiple hobbies for users to engage in, we would be able to attract a wider audience to our app and therefore have an even more significant impact on improving overall health during the pandemic. However, we did notice that these apps incorporated things like AI, AR technology, and psycholinguistics. In the future, we would like to work on adding these advanced features into our app. We found that 80.6% of our participants have experienced a degree of decline in their social, emotional, mental, and physical health since the start of the pandemic. We also noticed that those who already have one or more hobbies appeared to be happier compared to those who didn't. Most of our respondents additionally said that they would be willing to try out new hobbies. This indicated that engaging users in hobbies would be an effective way to help promote health during this crisis. Our app is very easy to navigate and use. Users are initially presented with a home screen. When they click on the Get Started button, they are taken to a questionnaire where they will fill out responses to questions revolving around their interests and personalities. After filling out the questionnaire, they can click on the Results button and they will be recommended a hobby that matches up with their answers to the questions. They can choose to explore their recommended hobby or another hobby that they find interesting. The app provides both text information and engaging activities for all hobbies so that the user can find hobbies that they truly enjoy doing. Our app features databases for written reflections on hobbies, a timer using a clock component to track the amount of time spent on one hobby, animations running based on clocks, a text-to-speech option that will read out written text, a sound component that plays fun sounds associated with the interactive activities, image sprites, lists, and random integers. We believe that the solution that our app provides is effective because it helps solve a problem that many of our consumers are facing, includes a variety of features, and provides a personalized experience. In addition, even after the pandemic is over, users can still use the app to discover hobbies that they can enjoy anytime. Discovering and pursuing hobbies that they enjoy will evoke feelings of contentment and happiness and simultaneously eliminate feelings of distress. Furthermore, we have a solid financial and marketing plan to popularize our app. We expect that our startup capital will come from investors as well as our team's personal savings. The revenue generated by the app will come from the yearly cost of $3.99 to use the app, in-app purchases to unlock additional features, and advertisements contained on our company's website and through email. Operating costs that we will need to budget money for include rent, software, licenses, and internet connection, utilities, fees to put our app on the App Store, marketing, and employee salaries. We calculated the amounts shown in the table above to be our estimated total profit for the first 5 years. I did face some challenges during the app development process. I struggled at times when debugging my code and when ensuring that every component was functioning as intended. I responded to this challenge by analyzing the error messages and going through the faulty pieces of code line by line and modifying them until the code was functioning as intended. I also had trouble determining what features would be best to incorporate into our cooking hobby section, which was the part of the app that I worked on. I decided to solve this issue by making a list of everything I wanted the section to include, and then I went to the curriculum on the Technovation Girls website to choose the best components and code for the individual items. Through this competition, I learned a lot about creating and publishing an app, as well as how to market and promote an app. And I plan on using these skills in future programming projects.
My portion of the project was to design the front cover of the app, as well as coming up with the questions and coding for the quiz. Since this was my first time using this website, it was difficult to know which blocks and statements I should use. It took me a while to figure out basic things like creating a global variable. I was able to do the quiz successfully, though, after becoming familiar with the different coding options and looking at tutorials and also asking my teammates. And overall, I think that this was a great experience. I learned more about coding apps and how to design sites and how to make things more user-friendly.
Challenges I came across when I was creating and coding the sports section of our app. The first challenge I overcame was the content and design portion. It was hard deciding what content would be inputted for the activities, deciding how the layout would work, and even the color scheme was important to determine the end product. In addition to the design portion, the code was challenging as well. The platform we used to create our app was one that used block coding, and block coding was something that I had never worked with before. I had to navigate the controls and pieces of code that were available for me to use, and when I wasn't able to find a segment of code that I needed, I had to reconfigure the structure of my code.
I worked on the reading section for our project Florens. I learned a lot about how to navigate the platform and add different components to the interface. I initially ran into trouble in the beginning stages of designing because working with this IDE was unfamiliar, but I was able to overcome it by spending more time experimenting with all the different features, and trial and error also helped me work through the technical aspects.
Beyond this competition, our team strives to continue with making our goal a reality. As soon as we incorporate more features into our app, we plan on launching our app on Google Play and eventually the App Store. We plan on reaching our target audience through partnerships with other companies that share similar goals as us. We will continuously update the app based on user feedback and new ideas for app functionality.